There is a quiet rhythm in the human heart, a rhythm that begins even before we take our first breath and continues tirelessly throughout our lives. For many, it is only when the heart falters or faces challenges that we become conscious of this persistent companion. In our later years, the heart, much like ourselves, carries the echoes of a lifetime: our joys, our stresses, the long days of labor, and the moments of rest. As we consider heart health in seniors, we are not merely talking about numbers on a chart or readings from a machine. We are talking about sustaining the very pulse that carries life itself. With age, the cardiovascular system faces inevitable changes. The arteries, once elastic and yielding, begin to stiffen, a process that subtly increases blood pressure over decades. The heart muscle may thicken, an adaptive response to years of workload, yet this adaptation comes with its own vulnerabilities. The valves, those silent custodians of blood flow, may lose their suppleness, occasionally whispering signs of strain and murmurs and slight inefficiencies. These transformations are not sudden, they are gradual, almost imperceptible, but they shape the landscape of the aging body, making the question of heart health ever more vital for seniors. It is in this context that we encounter the paradox of aging. The body slows, yet the wisdom of decades allows us to intervene in ways previously unimaginable. Medical science has provided insights, interventions, and tools that empower us to influence the trajectory of cardiovascular aging. But beyond science, there is a reflective understanding, an intuition that our daily choices, the meals we prepare, the steps we take, the ways we manage stress interweave with biology in profound ways. We are not merely subjects of aging, we are participants, co-authors in the unfolding story of our hearts. Consider the blood vessels. Over time, the endothelium, the inner lining of arteries, may lose some of its vitality. This layer, though microscopic, is crucial, regulating blood flow, clot formation, and inflammatory responses. In seniors, endothelial dysfunction can lead to hypertension, atherosclerosis, and increased cardiovascular risk. But here lies a fascinating revelation of the human body: the endothelium responds to stimuli. Physical activity, even gentle movement, enhances nitric oxide production, allowing vessels to dilate and blood to flow more freely. Nutrients, antioxidants, and anti-inflammatory compounds from a balanced diet reinforce vascular integrity. We see, then, that what might seem like an inexorable decline is, in many ways, a dialogue between biology and behavior, where intentional choices can rejuvenate and protect. Physical activity deserves particular attention. For older adults, the idea of exercise is often colored by caution, a concern for fragility or injury. Yet, there is a form of movement that is both safe and transformative. Aerobic activities, walking, swimming, cycling, strengthen the heart muscle itself, improving stroke volume and cardiac efficiency. Resistance training, often underestimated in seniors, plays a complementary role. By engaging muscles, it enhances circulation, reduces insulin resistance, and supports the structural health of blood vessels. The interplay is remarkable. The stronger the muscles, the less strain on the heart during daily tasks, the more resilient the heart, the more capacity for activity and independence. Muscle and heart are partners, each sustaining the other. Diet, too, is an intimate conversation with the heart. In recent decades, research has illuminated the profound impact of nutrition on cardiovascular outcomes. Diets rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats provide not only fuel but also molecules that regulate inflammation, oxidative stress, and lipid balance. Omega-3 fatty acids, found in fish and certain seeds, influence membrane fluidity and vascular function. Fiber, abundant in plant foods, moderates cholesterol absorption and supports gut health, which, intriguingly, has emerging connections to cardiovascular risk. In seniors, where digestive efficiency may decline, attention to nutrient-dense, easily digestible foods ensures that the body receives the compounds necessary to sustain its vital rhythms. Yet heart health is not purely a matter of physical or chemical considerations. It is profoundly intertwined with emotional and social well-being. loneliness and chronic stress have measurable effects on the cardiovascular system. Cortisol, the stress hormone, when persistently elevated, can raise blood pressure, promote insulin resistance, and trigger inflammatory pathways. Conversely, social engagement, purpose, and meaningful relationships buffer the heart against these effects. There is an almost poetic truth here: the heart, a symbol of connection and care, is itself nourished by connection and care. Seniors who cultivate friendships, engage in community, or maintain creative and intellectual pursuits often demonstrate resilience not just in spirit, but in the vessels that carry life's essence. The advances in medicine for seniors are equally remarkable. Statins, antihypertensives, anticoagulants, and newer biologics provide tools to manage risk, prevent events, and extend quality of life. But medication is not the full story, it is a scaffold upon which lifestyle choices rest. Screening for blood pressure, cholesterol, and cardiac function becomes not an anxiety-inducing ritual, but an opportunity for insight and timely adjustment. Non-invasive imaging and biomarkers allow us to see subtle changes long before catastrophic events, creating a window for intervention that our ancestors could scarcely imagine. Sleep, often undervalued, emerges as another pillar of heart health. The restorative phases of sleep regulate autonomic balance, modulate blood pressure, and support metabolic function. Seniors frequently experience altered sleep patterns, lighter sleep, earlier awakening, and fragmentation. Attending to sleep hygiene, reducing stimulants, and maintaining circadian consistency can reduce cardiovascular stress. Here, again, we observe the elegance of the human body. Even simple routines, consistent bedtimes, exposure to daylight, mindful relaxation translate into measurable benefits for the heart. Beyond the individual, there is a collective dimension. Public health initiatives, urban design, and social support systems profoundly influence senior heart health. Access to safe walking paths, nutritious foods, community centers, and preventive care magnifies the impact of individual choices. Our hearts are not isolated, they beat in the context of environments, cultures, and societies. Advocating for spaces that encourage activity, social interaction, and healthy diets is, in essence, an act of compassion not just for oneself, but for the broader network of seniors whose lives are intertwined with ours. In reflecting upon heart health, one cannot ignore the spiritual resonance of the heart. Across cultures, it has been seen as the seat of emotion, courage, and vitality. While science provides the mechanisms, this symbolism reminds us of our responsibility to honor, to care, to move with intention. Seniors often navigate a period of reflection, considering legacy, relationships, and the quality of daily experience. In this reflection, the heart is central, both literally and metaphorically. Maintaining its health is an acknowledgement that life is not merely measured in years, but in vitality, presence, and engagement. It is also important to recognize the variability among individuals. Genetics, early life experiences, prior health, and socioeconomic factors all shape cardiovascular aging. Some seniors may find themselves naturally predisposed to robust cardiac function, while others face challenges despite diligent effort. Here, compassion and self-awareness are essential. Heart health strategies are not a one-size-fits-all prescription but a personalized journey, requiring observation, adaptation, and often the guidance of healthcare professionals. Seniors who engage actively in this process, monitoring their responses, adjusting routines, and celebrating small improvements, experience not just longer lives, but lives imbued with agency and dignity. Technology, too, offers new horizons. Wearable devices, telemedicine, and AI-driven health analytics allow continuous monitoring of heart rate, rhythm, and blood pressure. For seniors, these tools provide reassurance, early detection, and personalized feedback. Yet, even as we embrace technology, there is value in simplicity. A daily walk, mindful breathing, or a moment of gratitude can influence heart rate variability and overall well-being in profound ways. The most advanced tool is often the one we wield consistently, with awareness and intention. In exploring heart health in seniors, we confront fundamental questions about aging and human resilience. We see that decline is not a single narrative but a mosaic of possibilities. The heart adapts, compensates, and often surprises us with its capacity for repair and resilience. Cellular mechanisms of regeneration, angiogenesis, and metabolic flexibility demonstrate that even in later life, biology retains plasticity. The promise is not immortality, but a life in which the rhythm of the heart continues to support independence, joy, and connection. We also observe the beauty of synergy. Nutrition supports vessels, which support muscle, which supports activity, which reinforces vascular function, a cascade in which each element amplifies the others. This holistic perspective challenges the reductionist approach that seeks to isolate one factor at the expense of the system. The heart is a networked organ, responsive to mind, body, and environment. Understanding and respecting this complexity allows seniors to act with wisdom, not fear. The journey of heart health in seniors is simultaneously scientific and poetic. It is measured in beats per minute, cholesterol levels, and blood pressure readings, yet it is experienced in the warmth of a hand, the exhilaration of a brisk walk, and the calm of a peaceful breath. The heart bridges the empirical and the existential, reminding us that our physiology is inseparable from our lived experience. Attending to its care is both a rational endeavor and an act of self-compassion, a dialogue with the deepest currents of life itself. In this exploration, we are invited to notice the small, often overlooked details, the gentle strengthening of the heart through daily movement, the subtle impact of a nutrient-rich meal, the profound effect of human connection on cardiovascular resilience. Each action reverberates, not in isolation, but as part of a complex, adaptive system. Seniors, who have accumulated decades of experience, intuition, and observation, are uniquely positioned to integrate this knowledge into practices that are sustainable, meaningful, and life-enhancing. Ultimately, heart health in seniors is not solely a medical pursuit. It is a reflection of respect for the body, for the rhythms of life, for the interdependence of biology and environment, for the capacity to influence outcomes even in later decades. It is an ongoing engagement with curiosity, observation, and intention. The heart, in its ceaseless beat, offers both a metaphor and a tangible reality. It is persistent, adaptive, and remarkably responsive to care. By honoring its needs, seniors honor themselves, their autonomy, and their capacity to experience the richness of life fully. Even as we acknowledge the challenges of aging, the stiffening arteries, the risk of arrhythmias, the cumulative burden of years, we also recognize resilience, adaptation, and hope. Seniors embody a repository of knowledge, a living testament to endurance and insight. In understanding heart health, they encounter an opportunity not only for longer life but for richer, more conscious living. The science provides tools, reflection provides motivation, action provides transformation. Thus, attending to heart health in seniors is a multifaceted endeavor. It integrates the wisdom of medicine with the practicality of lifestyle, the subtlety of physiology with the depth of experience, the measurable with the immeasurable. Each heartbeat becomes both a data point and a reminder to move, to nourish, to connect, to rest, and to reflect. In this continual dance, seniors participate actively, co-creating the conditions for vitality and grace. In this light,